because it's fun. And so there were these companies that figured out how to make really, really compelling, really beautiful software experiences, but none of these companies was about actually getting something significant accomplished. It was all either social or diversion. And what we thought, what we really wanted to use, we really wanted there to be some software, some systems that were just as much fun to use as these games and these social sites, but after you used them, you actually felt like you accomplished something, like you actually did something useful. Like if you spend 5 minutes in Evernote, we want you to feel like you've advanced your life's goal by 5 minutes. If you spend 5 minutes in Evernote, we want you to think that you just, if your mom knew what you just did for the past 5 minutes, she'd be kind of proud of you. And so that's what we set out to build. We set out to build a new definition of productivity software. But we thought the old definition was stuck 25 years in the past. We thought the old definition of productivity software was basically the idea of Office. It was a word processor and a spreadsheet and a database, presentation software. But that idea of productivity didn't really capture what it meant for a modern person to be productive. That idea of productivity didn't include the last 25 years of development. It didn't include things like email and internet and social networks. So we wanted to be the new definition of productivity. We wanted to build a system that would act as your second brain. That would literally, whenever you used it, it would give you a perfect memory, and it would make you smarter, and it would make you more productive. We really wanted to build a second brain for everyone on the planet, because we wanted a second brain ourselves. And so we set out thinking about this, and the first time that I knew that I think this was a good idea, that we were onto something, was when I started describing what Evernote was. Before we launched anything, I started describing what it was to friends of mine who weren't working with me. And they would say, well, what are you working on? And I would say, well, we're going to build this thing that basically gives you perfect memory, helps you remember everything. And everyone who I said this to, my friends, my family, coworkers, everyone I said this to, they always had exactly the same reaction. They always laughed at first, and then they said, boy, I really need that. Every time, 100% of the time, everyone I ever said, Evernote is something that's going to give you a perfect memory. Every time somebody, they always laugh, and then they say, man, I really need that, that's really for me. And I took that to be the best possible reaction, because the laugh meant that they didn't think we could do it, that it wasn't serious, they thought it was a joke, they couldn't do it. But then right after the laugh, they would say, yeah, I really need that myself. Right? And that was a reaction that I thought was exactly right, because it showed me that there was universal demand for this, that only if we could get it right, if we could accomplish it, everybody in the world, everybody in the planet, everyone would use that. People didn't believe that we could do it, but they said, if you do it, we'll definitely use it. It's really for me. And that's what we set out to do. And of course, we got very lucky. This was in 2007, and we got very, very lucky because smartphones were just really starting to take off. Smartphones and app stores and social media were just starting to get really, really huge, and we couldn't have predicted how big they would get, but they did get big. And those three things, smartphones and app stores and social media, are what made Evernote possible. Because without those three things, you had to worry about many, many things to building a successful business. You needed to worry not just about having the best product, but you needed to worry about how you were going to do your marketing, and how you were going to do your distribution, and your channels, and your logistics. But after those three things, after smartphones, and app stores, and social media, you didn't really have to worry about those things. All you have to worry about now is making a great product. And if you make a great product, you get all of the other stuff almost for free. So in my first two companies, we had to think about advertising. Well, we could make a great product, but how are people going to know about it? Well, now you don't have to worry about advertising, because if you have a great product, especially a consumer product, if you have a great product, everyone will know about it the next day, because they just tell their friends through social media. And so if you have a product, if you're an entrepreneur, and you have a product, but you say, well, I have this great product, but nobody knows about it, well, the only reason is your product isn't great. Because if it was, everyone would know about it. So you don't have to worry about marketing, you don't have to worry about logistics, you don't have to worry about distribution. All you have to worry about is making a great product. And so we got very lucky. We spent all of our time just improving the product, and we made it pretty good, and everything grew from there. So Today we have more than 32 million users worldwide. I noticed that those slides had 27 million, but slides were probably meant weeks ago. We have over 32 million users now worldwide. And all of that growth, 100% of that growth, was completely organic. It was just friends telling their friend, it was users telling their friends and coworkers and family, hey, you gotta check out Evernote. And so that's where all of you come in. We've really thought about what is the role of marketing at Evernote. And you know, many companies, all companies, have somebody whose job is to get new people to use your product for the first time. So if someone has never heard of your product, whose job is it to get a new person to use that product for the first time? If someone has never heard of Evernote, whose job is it to get that person to hear about Evernote for the first time? And many companies would say that that is the job of the marketing department, but not us. That's not our job in the marketing department. The job of getting somebody to use Evernote for the first time, who's never used it before, that's your job. That's the job of our users. We want the first time that you hear about Evernote not to come from us. We want the first time that you hear about Evernote to come from your friend, or your college roommate, or your coworker, who tells you, oh, you gotta use this great thing called Evernote. We want the first time to come through a referral from our existing user. And so our job as a company, and the job of our marketing department, isn't to get new people to use Evernote. It's to listen to our existing users. It's to listen to the community of people. It's to listen to you. It's to understand what you want. It's to understand how we can make it a better product for you, so that you would be even more incented to go out and tell your friends and your roommates and your family and your coworkers about it. So we really think that it's your job to tell other people to use Evernote, and it's our job to make you want to do that, and to make it easy for you to do. So that's why the community of users, that's why all of you are the most important asset we have at Evernote, and the most important asset we have worldwide. If it wasn't for the active community of users, we wouldn't be anything. We wouldn't be able to develop our product. We certainly wouldn't get any distribution. We wouldn't get any investment. We wouldn't get any financing. So it's really the users that make it possible, and I am deeply thankful for that. So the vision of Evernote is to be your second brain. And we only build it because that's what we want to use, because I need a second brain. In fact, you know, we say, most companies do a lot of market research. They say, what do the customers want? What do the users want? We don't do a lot of market research like that. We only build for what we want. So we are the target users. We, all of us, are the target users. But really, it's more specific. I am the target user. Like, I personally am the customer that Evernote has to satisfy. The system is built. It's built so that it's something that I love, that I want to use every day. And the gamble that we're taking is that if it's something that I love, because I'm pretty picky, if it's something that I love, then a billion other people will love it also. And a billion people will be able to get it and to use it and to tell their friends. So when we think about the evolution of the features of Evernote, it's really easy to think what we're going to do next. We're going to do what we want to use. And as we change as a company, what we want to change is a little bit as well. So a few years ago, we were just very small. We were 5, 10 people. And so we were building things for individuals to work together to be productive. Now we're a medium-sized company. We're about 170 people. We'll be about 300 people by the end of the year. And we still want to use Evernote. So we have to make Evernote useful for us as a medium business. So now we're building Evernote for business. So our next step, one of the major things that we'll be announcing later this year, is Evernote for business. We want to figure out how to make Evernote the ultimate productivity tool for the modern knowledge worker. The ultimate productivity tool for someone whose job performance really relies just on what they know, how much information they have, how much they can process it. And we want to make sure that it's a great collaboration tool for small teams of smart people to work together to really get something great done. And so we're emphasizing sharing and collaboration, and we're emphasizing use for business and in business over the next couple of months. And I really hope to hear from all of you how Evernote could be more useful for you in your company, in your organization, so we can make it work great. And very specifically, we were interested in very specific things, right? We want Evernote to be great for small, smart groups of people to get something done together. And each three of those words is very important. Small, because I don't think large groups of people working together really accomplish very much in companies. So we don't really care to support 2,000 people collaborating on something. We really want it to be the same, like a number that it can really accomplish great things. We think 5 people working together can accomplish something great. 10 people, maybe 50 people. So it's small, smart, because we're only building for ourselves. Right? We don't actually want software that makes it easier for unproductive or for lazy or for dumb people to do anything. That's fine. We don't need to address them. We want small groups of smart people that actually want to accomplish something. That's the goal of Evernote for the next few years, and for the next few months actually. And you'll be seeing lots of changes and lots of improvements. But we're not done with the designs, so we need to get feedback from all of you to make it really great. And that kind of takes me to where I want to end, which is what we're doing in Korea. Our ambition from the beginning is always to be a global company. And I think there's a new definition of what it takes to be a global company. I think there's an old definition. The old definition is a global company is a company whose products were sold in lots of different places. But I don't think that definition makes any sense anymore. I think today the definition of a global company isn't one where its products are sold all over the world. It's one where its products are built all over the world. Right? We want to build a product that's so great that everyone in the world wants to use it. And the only way to do that is to get the very best of the designers and engineers and product managers and developers and partners and testers, the very best from everywhere in the world, and be inspired by all the top centers of innovation to actually build the best possible product. So that's why we're in Korea. I just signed a lease on a new office space, so now we officially have an office in Korea. We are hiring full-time people now. Troy mentioned some of the positions open, but over the next couple of months we'll be hiring all positions. Support, but also developers and designers and all positions. And our goal is to build the product here, is to work with the most creative, the most talented designers and developers in Korea to build a great product. Not to build a great product for Koreans. We didn't come to Korea to sell stuff to Korean people. We don't see Korea as a market. We don't really see the world as a series of markets. We came to Korea because we want to work with the best people here to make a product so great that everyone in the world will love it. That's our ambition, and I don't think we can do that without being significantly influenced and inspired by Korea, because every time I come here, I'm just amazed at the level of innovation and the level of creativity. So we want to build a product in Silicon Valley, we want to build a product in Japan, we want to build a product in Korea, in Zurich, everywhere else where we have studios and development centers. Not because those are interesting markets for us, but because those are the top places of innovation. And I think Korea is one of the very top places of innovation in the world. That's why we're committed to being here. So we would love to work with you. If you want to be an Evernote employee, that's great. Come see Troy and other people here. If you want to be an Evernote partner, that's also great. We are honored and humbled by the many partnerships we have in Korea. So whether you work in a large company or a small company, we would love to work with you. If you want to be an independent developer or a designer, that's great. We do have a full API. We have our developer competition open. We want to help as much as possible to create great applications in Korea. Some of our top third-party applications are already Korean apps. We have Awesome Note is a great integration partner. In fact, one of the top integration partners. I was really blown away by the hackathon that we had a few weeks ago. I was in Seoul last time a few weeks ago. We had a great hackathon. We came up with 7 really solid ideas, and the winning team, all of them are actually going to San Francisco to meet us. So I know that this is a huge center of creativity and innovation, and we want to be a company that combines the best of Silicon Valley with the best of Korea, and that's why we're here. So we have a really great program. We have some really interesting presentations. We've got some prizes. We've got your drawings. We'll take questions. I'll be around all evening. I'd love to meet all of you if possible. So thank you so much for being here, and please enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you.